What's up, all you beautiful people? Welcome to Final Fantasy's 30th anniversary event. Spectacular extravaganza. Be a bit of a disappointment? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go over the announcements that were made and basically kind of give my thoughts and impressions on them so far. So please let me know in the comments below what you think. Were you excited? So let's get into the news. So first up, we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. So we got a release date. This is great. It's not that far off. Final Fantasy XII HD Remastered, the Zodiac International Job, blah, 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 blah. Comes out July 11th in Europe and the United States, and then in Asia and Japan on July the 13th. So that's going to be fantastically exciting. The only thing that stings about it is I'm pretty sure I'm going to be very invested into Stormblood at that time. I was kind of hoping that we would have seen this before Stormblood so that we had time to play it. So I'm going to be busy in July, that's for sure. In Final Fantasy XV news, we've got a DLC dates announcement. So episode Gladio is going to be coming March 28th. We've got episode Prompto, which is going to be released in June. They've got some kind of superhero-themed-esque DLC booster that's going to be coming out February the 21st. So all in all, continued updates for Final Fantasy XV. So if you've already finished the story, there's going to be plenty to do afterwards. At least it looks like that so far. So I don't know really what to say. Obviously, 15 has, some interesting elements and some games that I've given a review. For me, I think I'm going to wait and see before picking up the DLC. And not that it's going to be that bad, but I just really want to wait. But one of the things that I found interesting is that Core, is seemingly this interesting character that personally I wish we got to explore more, is going to be teaming up with Gladio. So I believe that means playable, but we'll see when that drops on March the 28th. So are you a fan of Final Fantasy VII? I assume you are, because aren't we all, right? But Square Enix confirmed that Final Fantasy VII Remake still exists. I know. Yes. All right. Yeah. And they released a beautiful picture of Cloud and Sephiroth over Midgar, and so I think that's a really cool piece of art. Obviously, the game I think is still far away. We probably aren't going to see much on it. Maybe we'll see something at E3 this year. So all in all, there's plenty of other great games to play. So I'm just waiting. I'm not too rushed on that one yet. And have you heard this news? Final Fantasy XIV is getting a new expansion. What? Stormblood 4.0. So they reiterated that, giving that announcement. If you haven't heard of it already, so if you only get your news at big anniversary milestones from Japan for Final Fantasy, well, here you go. If you haven't heard of Final Fantasy XIV, it's a fantastic game, and we cover it on the channel. So check out any of our other content and videos if you want to know what we really think about that game. So on mobile gaming, Final Fantasy is really big on that platform. We've got Cloud coming to the Brave Exodus series on February 6th. We've got a special 30th anniversary campaign for Brave Exodus. And so Yoshisha Amano has contributed art for it, which that's fantastic. Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omna starts in Japan on February 1st. Aerith is coming to the game and will be voiced by Maya Sakamoto. Cool. And Mobius Final Fantasy is getting Final Fantasy's most iconic villain. Sephiroth is joining the game. Anyway, sorry. So what we haven't seen here yet, or, at this event, we didn't see a collector's edition 30th version that was rumored. No announcements of that, as of now. We haven't seen any updates on Final Fantasy XI Mobile. We haven't seen any other updates. No Final Fantasy XVI announced, which I think was a good thing. I do want, them to get to a point where they can announce it. I think that's good for the series and for fans, but at the same time, we don't need to have excitement too soon. So all in all, I think from what I've seen on the prediction side from other YouTubers and the information and what people have speculated based off past events, okay, this was interesting. They've got a lot of other little weird announcements, but I wanted to cover that what we didn't see at the event. And so no Final Fantasy XI Mobile I thought was weird. We've seen a picture of it. It's been talked about, this leads me to wonder, where that project is, and not mentioning it to me is a sign maybe it's not good, but don't take that, to heart. There's still hope. Always, always hope. So here are the other announcements that you might find interesting, and you might not, but we're going to just kind of hit these rapid fire, okay? All right, so Final Fantasy is getting a wine for the 30th anniversary, and it's going to be expensive, around, I guess, $880, $900 for, like in American currency there. There's going to be apparently cheaper versions, Ifrit and Shiva, that they're also going to be coming out. So that's interesting and very cool, but wine lovers and Final Fantasy lovers finally have something in common, right? I like wine, right? Who doesn't? A good wine's a good wine. A bad wine sucks. And why not, with your wine, have some cake? So there's going to be a Moogle, Cactuar, and Chocobo themed cakes being released in Japan for the 30th. So if you find your way there, why don't you test them out and let us know what you think? Distant Worlds is going to be resuming their tour, and they're going to be doing that kind of a tour of the 30th, which is great and exciting. So fans of music, and especially Final Fantasy music, should rejoice. I've had a couple friends who've been able to make those, and they just love them. They just love them. So on the musical tours front, more tours coming. So in Japan, Final Fantasy XV's Piano Collection and Final Fantasy Brass de Bravo musical tours are also going to be taking place. Cup of Noodles, or Cup Noodle, is releasing 15 new flavors, all one focusing in on a particular Final Fantasy villain. I think this is a good collaboration, especially after Final Fantasy XV. So all I know is Final Fantasy XV did make me want Cup Noodles, so okay. Final Fantasy Lost Strangers is going to be a new manga series in Japan, so that looks interesting. And then this is a really bit, this came up in the news this week and we saw it. But Final Fantasy XIV is inspiring a real-life TV show in Japan called Final Fantasy XIV Daddy of Light. So this is based off of basically a true story about a father and a son bonding through the game, where the father was playing the game, he didn't realize he was actually playing with his son. So maybe that, that kind of warms my heart a little bit. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know if that's going to be something that translates one-to-one, maybe with Netflix. I don't know, but I guess we'll see soon enough. Do you like escaping from rooms? Well, good news. If you're in Japan and you like Final Fantasy XIV and escape rooms, Final Fantasy XIV is getting an escape room, which kind of makes sense because they did something like this in Japan with the Binding Coil of Bahamut escape room. So it seems like that is still going on. It is still a thing. So I guess I shouldn't judge because I haven't ever done one, but, okay, cool if you like it. The Sapporo Snow Festival in Japan is going to have a Final Fantasy themed snow sculpture featuring Cloud and Sephiroth, 14 is getting in my mind. We knew this, so that was just more of a reiteration. If you haven't heard that yet, they kind of showed off the art for it that's going to inspire the sculpture, so that should be pretty interesting. And then Final Fantasy XV's Noctis is coming to Takadai Street. Excuse my horrible pronunciation. So this is a board game based off for the PlayStation 4 and for Vita. And essentially it's a celebration of Final Fantasy's 30th and Dragon Quest's 30th anniversary. So it looks like it's an interesting little game. No word on any localization at this point. There's going to be a new Final Fantasy fashion line coming out, which kind of ties into what they did with Lightning. So they had various themed clothes, and they even did that with Final Fantasy 15. I know they were talking about it from the aspect of Final Fantasy Versus 13. So the clothes and things like that. But it was announced so long ago, some of the fashion had changed. So I guess they're going to try to be updating those lines as well. And then a Final Fantasy exhibition is going to take place in Japan in 2018 to celebrate the series' 30th anniversary. So the series officially turns 30 at the end of this year. So for anybody out there, like myself, I was 6 years old when Final Fantasy 1 came out. And now, they're celebrating 30 years. So obviously you can do the math to figure out my age if you are so inclined. Anyway, I'm more than thrilled, so happy to see this series continue on. As a fan, as somebody who has played this game and has spoken at the benefits of how Final Fantasy has positively impacted my life, this is always exciting. And it's great just to talk with you guys about it. So I guess the best thing to do is let me know in the comments below, like, what out of the announcements are the most exciting to you? And then what were you hoping? Were you like me? Were you hoping to see Final Fantasy 11 mobile? Were you hoping to learn more about the future of the franchise? Were you hoping that they might give us a little bit more on Stormblood? I don't know. Like, were you hoping for some kind of 30th big old box special edition thing? For me, not really. I'm just not a physical collector. I've mentioned that on podcasts and things like that. But if you're watching this for the first time and you don't know, like, I've got most of the games on Steam anyway, and so the more games they could bring there, it's great. So for me, that wasn't that big of a disappointment. But I know maybe they're out there who really like their collections and their events and their boxes. So anyway, this is Brian. This is Work to Game. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you hopefully in my next video. Hey, it's me. Thanks so much for watching this video. You should click here to subscribe and here to maybe check out some more of our videos. So again, thanks for watching. We hope you like this video. We hope you subscribe and join our community. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and we'll see you next time.